Dobie Gillis is basically an autobiography of Max Shulman, who was in the right place at the right time. Here he is at his desk at Ski-U-Mah, a campus humor magazine at the University of Minnesota in 1941. Shulman was class of 1942. The first Dobie Gillis magazine short story appeared in 1945. The big news then was the GI Bill, which paid for college for veterans. Suddenly, colleges were booming. Campus humor became a popular genre, and Max Shulman would cash in. Dobie Gillis, in one form or another, ran for 18 years. Shulman's career as a campus humor columnist ran for over 20 years. The book was a collection of short stories. They were sold individually to different magazines. The only continuity between them is the main character. The people around Dobie change. The love interest is a different woman every time. He has different majors, different hometowns, his parents have different jobs, and the other characters are different. The closest thing he has to a sidekick is his roommate Petey, who appears in the story Love is a Fallacy, which is still used today as a teaching tool about logic and fallacies. Another character named Petey, with a different last name, appears in another story. Two of the stories are written from an imagined future looking back at the college years. In Everybody Loves My Baby, he is married to Sally Bean, and they own a restaurant together. She never appeared in the franchise again. The stories keep coming back to Shulman himself. Dobie is often interested in journalism. The last story in the book, You Think You've Got Trouble, appears to be the most autobiographical. Dobie lives with his parents in St. Paul, and there is some discord at home. Not many characters beyond some incidental professors made it to the TV show. Talia Menninger was a love interest in one story, but beyond that, there was no Maynard, no Zelda, and no Chatsworth. The movie gets lost in the shuffle along with some of the later books. In most of the short stories, Dobie is on the small side with dark hair, as was Shulman himself. The general look is matched by Bobby Van, who plays Dobie. The movie is based on the story She Shall Have Music, but in writing the film, Shulman threw in details and incidents from other stories. Pansy is the love interest from the story, who is played by Debbie Reynolds. Oddly enough, the movie is a musical. Dobie's sidekick is Charlie, who only appears in the movie. Charlie is played by Bob Fosse, who had a very short career in movies before his long career on Broadway. His dancing is several levels above everyone else's, and you get to see him solo briefly. The location was moved from Minnesota to the more generic Grain Belt University. It was filmed on the MGM lot, and you can see California's eucalyptus trees in the background. The episode watched for this video was I Was a High School Scrooge from February 1961, late in the second season. The setting was moved again from a generic Midwestern college to a high school in California. You can clearly see palm trees when they drive around. Although 20 years had passed since Shulman was photographed at his desk at Ski-U-Mah, there are still some common elements that survived from the original short stories. Dobie is interested in journalism. He gives a rousing speech. His father is a grocer, as he was in one story in the book. Dobie's look of being short with dark hair almost made it as far as the TV show. While Dwayne Hickman was 5'8", his dark hair only made it as far as some publicity shots taken early on. His hair was bleached so that his character would not look too similar to his look on the Bob Cummings show. The most interesting connection I found is to The Simpsons. A rich man's obsequious assistant, Mr. Withers, played by James Milholen, is a dead ringer for Mr. Smithers. Milholen made a career playing similar roles. Have you read the book, seen the movie, and watched the TV show? What connections did you find?